Welcome back. Today is not a tutorial, not a product list, and not a step-by-step routine lecture. This is a simulated day in a dermatology clinic where we listen to real patterns, not just pores. Blackheads are often treated like an isolated problem, dots on the nose, but in practice, they're usually the visible endpoint of a bigger story. How your skin reacts to stress, friction, sleep, climate, product layering, and the emotional loop of checking and fixing. So we're going to do something that sounds unusual but works extremely well for prevention. We're going to learn blackhead prevention through patient stories. Each story is a different archetype, different lifestyle, different triggers, different mistakes, and in each one, the prevention strategy emerges naturally. You'll notice something important as we go. The most effective prevention plans are not the most complicated. They are the plans people can follow when life is messy. And the plans that fail are not always wrong. They are often impossible for that person's real day. So listen for the deeper lesson. Prevention is not only about skin chemistry, it's about human behavior. Patient 1 is a young creator who films under bright lights and hates texture on camera. They come in and say, "My pores look huge. My nose is full of blackheads. And every time I zoom in with my camera, it looks worse." When I look closely, I see two things: visible pore structures that refill quickly, and a subtle pattern of irritation around the nostrils and inner cheeks. The person has been doing what many creators do: aggressive, quick fixes before filming pore strips, frequent scrubs, strong masks, and occasional suction devices because they want a clean look immediately. The problem is that these quick fixes create a cycle that looks like progress for a day and then looks worse. The nose becomes red. The pores look larger because the surrounding tissue is inflamed, and makeup sits unevenly because the surface is irritated. The prevention lesson here is not, buy this product. The prevention lesson is, if your skin is your on-camera canvas, you must treat inflammation as your main enemy. Inflammation reads on camera more loudly than a few tiny dots, so the plan becomes a filming-friendly prevention plan. We reduce trauma, we reduce last-minute interventions, and we shift towards stability, so the skin is consistently calm. The biggest change for this patient is behavioral. They stop magnifying mirror inspection, and they stop the pre-shoot pore purge. Instead, they learn a predictable pre-shoot approach that doesn't injure the skin. Keep the surface comfortable, reduce shine with gentle techniques, and focus on even tone. Within weeks, the on-camera look improves not because pores disappeared, but because the background redness and microflaking stopped. The dots became less obvious because the skin stopped being angry. Patient 2 is a person who works long shifts, often wearing face coverings or protective gear, and they say, "I can't stop getting congestion on the chin and around the mouth." It's not always inflamed acne. It's like persistent plugs and texture. When I examine the pattern, it matches friction and occlusion. This is not a nose blackhead story. This is a mechanical story. The skin is being compressed, heated, and rubbed in the same zones for hours. Under those conditions, even excellent skincare can struggle if the mechanical trigger remains unaddressed. The prevention plan here is different. It looks like dermatology and ergonomics combined. We talk about fabric contact, clean replacements, minimizing rubbing, and keeping the skin interface calm. The biggest win comes from changing the environment, reducing friction where possible, avoiding heavy sticky layers under occlusion that trap sweat, and using gentle cleansing after long wear rather than harsh stripping during the day. The patient improves when they stop treating the issue like dirty pores and start treating it like repeated micro-injury. Patient 3 is someone with a very oily T-zone who says, "If I don't wash constantly, I feel greasy. If I do wash constantly, I get even greasier and the dots look darker." This is a classic rebound cycle. The person's behavior makes perfect emotional sense. They feel oil, they remove oil aggressively, the skin feels tight, and then it produces oil faster, creating the impression that the person is naturally extremely oily, when part of it is reactive. The prevention strategy here is to break the oil panic loop. We reframe oil as a normal output, not an emergency, and we remove the habit of chasing squeaky clean. We rebuild comfort. When comfort returns, the skin becomes less reactive, the midday oil becomes more stable, and the person stops touching and re-washing. Their dots become less obvious because their surface stops being repeatedly stripped and re-oiled. The lesson: sometimes the best blackhead prevention is not adding a new step. It's removing the behaviors that provoke the skin into dysfunctional cycling. Patient 4 is a makeup lover. They say, "I wear makeup every day, and I think makeup is clogging me. But if I stop makeup, I can't work confidently." In a clinic, we do not moralize makeup. We engineer around it. The key prevention insight is that makeup is not automatically the enemy. Incomplete removal and heavy layering without compatible removal is the enemy. Many people treat makeup removal as a quick rinse because they're tired at night. That leaves residue in pore openings. Over time, that residue contributes to congestion. The plan becomes a system that respects fatigue, an easier removal method that requires less effort, not more scrubbing. The person improves when the end-of-day removal becomes reliable and gentle. The second change is that we reduce panic coverage, stacking thick primer plus heavy foundation plus heavy setting layers to hide texture because those layers can create a film that is hard to remove and can make texture worse over time. Once removal becomes consistent and layering becomes lighter, the dots become less frequent and less dark. The lesson: prevention often lives at the end of the day, not the beginning. Patient 5 is someone who has forehead texture that never goes away. They think it's blackheads. They scrub, they mask, they change cleansers. Nothing helps. When we dig into the story, the person uses heavy hair products, and their hairline is frequently coated with styling creams and oils. Sweat moves these products onto the skin. This is not primarily a skincare failure. It's a migration problem. The prevention plan is surprisingly simple. Keep heavy hair products off the skin boundary, adjust application technique, and cleanse the hairline gently at night. Within a few weeks, the forehead texture improves. The lesson: sometimes the most effective prevention move is not on the face shelf. It's in the hair routine. Patient 6 is a person who says, "My nose looks like it has blackheads, but when I extract them, they come back in 2 days. I feel like I'm losing." This is where prevention requires emotional clarity. Some visible dots refill quickly because they are normal pore structures and normal oil flow patterns. The prevention strategy becomes a mindset shift. You stop trying to win a war against anatomy. You aim for reduced contrast, not eradication. You stop counting dots. You start measuring comfort and consistency. When people stop extracting and stop traumatizing, the dots often look less dramatic even if the pore openings remain. The lesson: a stable, calm nose looks cleaner than a repeatedly traumatized nose that is constantly red and inflamed. Patient 7 is the product collector. They have a shelf of acids, masks, scrubs, serums, and they say, "I've tried everything. My skin is still congested." In clinic, we often see that everything has created an unstable skin environment. When you use many strong products, you often create chronic, low-grade irritation. Irritated skin can produce uneven shedding. Uneven shedding contributes to plugging. The prevention plan is counterintuitive. We remove most variables. We simplify. We build a calm baseline. We stop stacking. We stop switching weekly. We make the skin boring again. Once the skin stops being irritated, pores often begin to behave better. The lesson: more products can sometimes be less progress. Patient 8 is someone in a humid climate who says, "Moisturizer makes me feel greasy, so I skip it. Then my skin feels tight after cleansing, so I scrub more. Then I get more dots." This is a humidity trap. People assume hydration and moisturizer are unnecessary in humidity because the air is wet, but the skin barrier still needs support. Skipping barrier support and over-cleansing can create tightness and irritation. Irritation can increase oiliness, The prevention strategy here is comfort engineering, lighter textures, thinner layers, and choosing products you don't hate. The goal is not to feel coated. The goal is to feel calm. When the skin feels calm, people handle it less and over-cleanse less, and dots reduce over time. Patient 9 is a teenager or young adult who experiences intense mirror checking. They say, "I look at my pores constantly. I can't stop. I squeeze without thinking." In clinic, we treat this gently because it's incredibly common. Blackheads are visible and tempting. Prevention here is partly psychological. The biggest risk factor is not the dots. It's the repeated trauma from squeezing. The plan becomes a behavioral design plan. Remove magnifying mirrors, set a time limit for mirror use, keep hands busy, and create a pause ritual when the urge to squeeze appears. This is not self-help fluff. This is dermatology reality. The skin cannot calm down if it is repeatedly injured. The lesson. Prevention includes reducing self-inflicted inflammation, and the most powerful tool is changing your environment, not your willpower. Patient 10 is someone who says, "I don't have time. Give me the smallest plan that still works." This is where real prevention wins. The smallest plan is the plan you can do on your worst day. In clinic, we build a minimal plan that focuses on the highest value actions. Reliable end-of-day removal of buildup, daily protection, and avoiding the handful of behaviors that most strongly worsen congestion: picking, scrubbing, and inconsistent removal. When people do the small plan consistently, they usually improve. When they try the complex plan inconsistently, they usually don't. The lesson.